In today's video, on Valentine's Day, my girlfriend sent me a text message that would completely change the way I looked at her, at our relationship, and even at myself. Her message was simple, short, almost careless. She wrote, "Going to dinner with the girls instead. We'll do something tomorrow." That was it. No apology, no consideration, no acknowledgement of the effort I had put into the day. Just a breezy dismissal of the plans I had carefully arranged for weeks. And my reply? Just 2 words. Of course. What she didn't know was that those 2 words weren't acceptance. They were the quiet click of a door closing forever. A few hours later, instead of joining her for Valentine's dinner, I posted a short video of myself donating the jewelry I had bought for her to a women's shelter. The internet loved it. They celebrated me. They called me inspiring. But Jessica, she hated it. And that was the beginning of the end. Now let me back up a little. See, I'm not the kind of guy who makes a huge deal out of Valentine's Day. To me, it's just another date on the calendar. Honestly, if February 14th wasn't plastered on every storefront in red hearts and teddy bears, I'd barely remember it. To me, love isn't about one day. It's about consistency, small actions, daily care, showing up when it matters. But my girlfriend of 3 years, Jessica, saw it very differently. For her, Valentine's Day wasn't just important. It was the day. The Super Bowl of relationships. A stage for grand gestures, sparkling gifts, and most importantly, something to show off on social media. She didn't just want romance. She wanted an audience for her romance. And so every year I played along. I ordered the big flower arrangements. I booked the fancy dinners. I let her post our carefully curated photos to her followers so she could bask in the comments like, "Couple goals," and "OMG, he's the best." Why did I go along with it? Simple. Because it made her happy. And I loved her. But this year, I didn't just play along. I went all in. I made a reservation a month in advance at one of the most exclusive restaurants in the city. A place where getting a table was nearly impossible, unless you booked way ahead. I arranged for an absurd amount of roses. Not a dozen, not 2 dozen, but boxes stacked high, to be delivered right to her office, so she could show them off to her coworkers and of course her Instagram followers. And sitting on my desk, in a small, elegant dark blue box, was the centerpiece, a diamond necklace. Not just any necklace, either. The kind that sparkles so bright under the light, it looks almost unreal. It had cost me more than my first car. It was the most expensive, most over-the-top Valentine's setup I had ever prepared. I was ready. Ready to play my role in the grand theater of her Valentine's Day fantasy. Then came noon on Valentine's Day. I was in the middle of a meeting at work, discussing numbers with a client, when my phone buzzed. I usually ignore texts during meetings, but this one caught my eye. It was Jessica. Here's what it said. "Hey babe, so sorry to do this, but the girls are having a total meltdown about their boyfriends. We've decided to do an emergency Galentine's dinner tonight instead. I feel terrible, but they really need me. We'll do something tomorrow. Love you." I read it once. Then again. Then again. The words blurred together in front of me. Not because I was confused, but because I felt this sharp, sinking clarity. It wasn't the cancellation that hurt. It was the casualness of it. The way she brushed off the plans I had spent weeks arranging as if they were nothing. The way she assumed I'd just be waiting around tomorrow, like I was some sort of backup option. An emergency Galentine's dinner? Please. I knew her friends. Their idea of an emergency was running late to a sale at their favorite boutique. That's when it hit me. This wasn't new. This was a pattern. You see, I'm a financial analyst by profession. My entire job is about spotting patterns, recognizing trends, and predicting outcomes. And for months, I had been noticing the same trend with Jessica. The subtle entitlement in her tone whenever she compared her gifts to what her friends got. The jealousy in her voice when she mentioned a friend whose boyfriend had bought her something bigger, shinier, more extravagant. The little digs she'd make about my job. How it was boring or predictable. How I wasn't spontaneous enough. This text wasn't random. It was the final data point in a graph that had been pointing downward for a long time. And now it was undeniable. The relationship wasn't healthy anymore. It wasn't love. It wasn't partnership. It was an investment that had gone bad. And if there's one thing I know about bad investments, it's that the smartest move is to cut your losses early. I stared at that sleek blue jewelry box on my desk. Inside it sat $5,000 worth of compressed carbon. A diamond necklace that was supposed to symbolize love, devotion, and commitment. But what did it really represent? To me in that moment, it wasn't a gift for the woman I loved. It was a monument to wasted effort. A symbol of one-sided compromise. Proof that I had been pouring into something that gave little back. And right then, I knew two things with absolute clarity. 1. The relationship was over. 2. I wasn't going to walk away quietly. If she wanted to make a public spectacle out of disregarding me, then fine. I would make a public spectacle out of my freedom. And I would do it using her own favorite weapon, the court of public opinion. Once I made my decision, the rest came surprisingly easy. The first thing I did was pick up my phone and call the restaurant. "Hi, this is Alex. I had a reservation tonight for 2. I need to cancel." The hostess on the other end sounded surprised. "Sir, are you sure? This is Valentine's Day. We usually charge a cancellation fee." I chuckled softly. "Yes, I'm sure. Keep the fee. Consider it a tip for someone else who might actually enjoy the evening." Then I hung up. Next came the florist. I redirected the mountains of roses I had ordered, but not to my apartment. No, I had a better idea. I told them to deliver everything to the front desk of the nearest children's hospital. Dozens upon dozens of kids, nurses, and exhausted parents would see those flowers, and for at least a moment, Valentine's Day wouldn't be about broken expectations. It would be about joy. And then came the necklace. The centerpiece. The big one. That sleek blue box sat heavy in my hands, almost daring me to make the final call. I slipped it into my jacket pocket and walked out of my office. I wasn't going home. I had somewhere else to be. My destination was a place called The Haven, a women's shelter on the far side of town. It wasn't some glossy, picture-perfect charity you'd see on billboards. The Haven was raw, real, and vital. It gave women, and often their children, a place to go when the world had turned dangerous, cruel, or unbearable. A place where second chances weren't just offered, they were fought for. I walked in and asked for the director. A woman named Margaret, mid-60s, with a kind face but the kind of eyes that had seen enough pain to know exactly when someone was serious. She looked at me curiously. "How can I help you?" I set the box down in front of her. "This was supposed to be a Valentine's Day gift," I told her. "But it's not needed anymore. I want to donate it. Use it however you think best. Auction it at a fundraiser. Gift it to someone starting over. Whatever makes the most impact." Margaret opened the box, and for the first time that day, I saw someone's eyes widen not with entitlement, but with gratitude. "Are you sure?" she whispered. This is incredibly generous." I smiled. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. But I wasn't done yet. I pulled out my phone. "Margaret, I know this is a strange request, but would you mind if I filmed this? I won't show your face. I won't show the residence. I just want to say a few words. I think it could do some good." She hesitated. I could see her weighing the risks. But after a moment she nodded. So I set up my phone on a small table. The shot framed me, Margaret's hands holding the open jewelry box, and the shelter's logo on the wall behind us. I hit record. "Hi everyone," I began, keeping my voice calm but steady. "My name is Alex. Today is Valentine's Day, and like a lot of people I had plans. I bought flowers. I bought a necklace. I made reservations. But sometimes life doesn't go the way you expect. I was left with a choice. I could sit at home feeling sorry for myself, or I could try to turn this into something good. This necklace was supposed to be a symbol of love for one person. But today, it's going to be a symbol of hope for many. I'm here at The Haven, a wonderful organization that helps women and children rebuild their lives. I'm donating this to them, in the hopes that it can make a difference." I leaned closer, looking directly into the lens. "So if your Valentine's Day didn't go as planned, I just want you to remember, you're not alone. And maybe the best way to heal a broken heart is to help someone else mend theirs. Happy Valentine's Day." I stopped recording. No teatrix. No viternis. Just the truth, framed in the best possible light. That night, I went home, poured myself a drink, and edited the video just enough to add the shelter's website and donation link. Then I posted it. Not on my personal profile. Not where Jessica's friends would see it and start gossiping. No, I went bigger. And then I turned off my phone. I wasn't sure what would happen. Maybe it would get a few likes, a few shares. Maybe it would disappear into the endless stream of Valentine's posts. But by the time I woke up the next morning, it was everywhere. My face was plastered across local news feeds. The video had been shared thousands of times. The local news page made it their top story of the day. Comments poured in. This is what a real man looks like. Someone's ex is crying right now and good riddance. I just donated to the Haven in your name, Alex. Thank you for inspiring me. It had everything a viral story needs. A hero, me apparently. A villain, the nameless girlfriend who let me go. And a cause worth supporting. By mid-morning, my phone was buzzing nonstop with calls from news stations wanting interviews. I declined all of them politely, saying I didn't want the attention. Of course, that only made me look more humble, more genuine. The internet had chosen its narrative. And then came Jessica. Around noon, my phone lit up. One text. From her. My phone is blowing up. What did you do? I didn't reply. An hour later, she called. I let it go to voicemail. The message she left was breathtaking. Alex, what the hell is going on? My mom just called me asking if we broke up. That video is everywhere. You donated my necklace, the one you bought for me. You had no right. Call me back right now. Her necklace. The one she had never seen. Never touched. Never even known about. The entitlement dripped from her voice. The sheer assumption that anything I bought was automatically hers. I didn't call her back. I didn't text. Because I knew this wasn't over. She wasn't just going to be angry. She was going to launch a war. And I was ready. When silence didn't get her what she wanted, Jessica did what Jessica always did. She turned to her stage. Social media. That afternoon, she posted a long, emotional story on Instagram. I still remember seeing screenshots later because, of course, her followers immediately spread it around. Her post was, well, let's just say it was a creative masterpiece of fiction. She uploaded a tearful selfie, mascara smudged just enough to look accidental but obviously staged. Then came the text. I never thought I'd have to share something like this, but here we are. Alex and I had a minor disagreement, and instead of talking it out like a healthy couple, he chose to publicly humiliate me in the most manipulative way possible. He took a gift that was already mine, ripped it away, and used it for a publicity stunt to make himself look like a hero while painting me as a villain. This is what toxic, controlling behavior looks like. Please don't fall for his act. Within minutes, her loyal circle of friends, her little online army, began reposting it. They added their own fuel to the fire. Finally, the truth comes out. He's always been a controlling psycho. This isn't charity, it's abuse. Emotional abuse. She gave up one night with him to support her friends, and this is how he repays her. Red flag walking. She's better off without him. The comments section under her post was a chorus of sympathy. Dozens of followers calling her brave, telling her she deserved better, applauding her for speaking her truth. And just like that, she tried to flip the narrative. Now I'll give her credit. It was a smart move. She knew that whoever tells the better story on social media usually wins. And she was banking on the fact that her performance, the tears, the words like toxic and abuse, would outweigh whatever goodwill my video had created. But here's the thing. Her story had one fatal flaw. It was built on lies. Because the necklace she claimed I had stolen back from her? She had never received it. Never even seen it. And me? Well, I had receipts. Now, I could have gone nuclear. I could have screenshotted her original text, blasted it online, tagged her, and let the internet eat her alive. But that would have been messy, emotional, desperate. Instead, I waited. And sure enough, my chance came. A local news blogger, someone who had written a glowing piece about my donation, reached out to me privately. She wanted my response to Jessica's accusations. This was it. My moment. I replied with calm, measured words. I am saddened by these false accusations, but I am not surprised. I've always believed that the truth has a way of surfacing on its own. I stand by my actions and by my intentions that day, to turn a personal disappointment into something positive for others. Then I attached two things. 1. A screenshot of Jessica's actual Valentine's Day text, the one where she canceled on me for her so-called emergency Galentine's dinner. 2. A photo of the unopened jewelry box on my desk that morning, time-stamped. No extra commentary. No name-calling. No angit. Just facts. The blogger published my statement along with the evidence. And suddenly the tide turned. People started connecting the dots. Wait, so she canceled on him? She never even got the necklace and she's calling it hers? Receipts don't lie. She played herself. Her story crumbled in real time. Even some of her own followers began to backpedal. I supported you at first, but this doesn't add up. If this text is real, you owe him an apology. This is embarrassing. Girl, take the L. Her carefully constructed victim narrative collapsed like a house of cards. And the more she tried to defend herself, the more frantic her posts became, the worse she looked. Meanwhile, I stayed quiet, silent, untouchable. Because when someone is busy digging their own grave, the smartest thing you can do is step back and let them keep digging. Now let me tell you what was really happening here. This wasn't just about Valentine's Day anymore. This was about identity. Jessica wasn't just losing me. She was losing the role she had written for herself online. The glamorous girlfriend with the perfect relationship, the Instagram-worthy romance, the endless compliments from strangers telling her how lucky she was. My video shattered that image. Instead of being admired for her relationship, she became the faceless ex in a viral heartbreak story. And she couldn't stand it. Because deep down, Jessica didn't crave love. She craved validation. And now, the validation belonged to me. As I watched all of this unfold, I wasn't even angry anymore. I felt free. For months, maybe years, I had been ignoring the red flags, convincing myself that her little digs didn't matter, telling myself that all the public displays of affection were just her way of expressing love. But now I could see it clearly. Love isn't about likes, comments, and staged photos. Love is about respect. And respect is about choices. Her choice told me everything I needed to know.